Welcome to Statistics Made Simple. I am Savita Walsing, and in this video we will discuss solutions to problems based on the binomial distribution. Let's have a recap of the PMF of the binomial distribution. It is P of x equal to NCx, P to the power x, Q to the power n minus x, and the range of x is 0, 1, 2, so on till n, 0 otherwise. Remember that n is the number of trials and p is the probability of success, q is the probability of failure. The binomial distribution has two parameters, n and p. And the mean of the binomial distribution is E of x equal to NP. Variance is V of x equal to root of NPQ, where Q is equal to 1 minus P. The standard deviation is SD of x equal to root NPQ, where again Q is equal to 1 minus P. Keeping some of these formulae in mind, let's proceed. Let us now discuss how to identify whether a given problem is based on the binomial distribution or not. Recollect the examples which I have explained under binomial distribution part 1. Firstly, the number of trials should be finite, or the number of times you conduct the experiment should be finite. Also, the random experiment should result in a success or a failure. Now, in the question, look out for some of the words like coins, heads or tails, dice, male, female, boys, girls, target is hit, game is won, surviving, or contracting a disease. And the most important word to look out for is the word defective. So when you see the word defective under a theoretical distribution problem, it comes in the category of the binomial distribution. Once you've confirmed it's a binomial distribution problem, the next step is to identify what are the two parameters. We know that the two parameters of the binomial distribution are n and p. Now, how do you identify n and p? What is n? Small n stands for the number of trials and it will be given in terms of a whole number. What is a whole number? It is a number which does not involve a decimal point. And p is the probability of success. Remember that the probability value always lies between 0 and 1, and it can be given in terms of either percentage, decimals or fractions. And in some of the problems you'll see that the total value, that is capital N, may also be given. So when you're starting a problem on any of the theoretical distribution, list down all these in the given category. Now the next step is to identify and define what is capital X. Capital X is the binomial variate and it always stands for the number of successes. You have to identify what is success based on a problem. Okay, so success can be either getting a head or getting a tail, or hitting a target or winning a game, or it can be the number of male children or number of female children, number of boys, number of girls. So it all depends on the problem under consideration. And whenever we calculate probabilities, we use the formula P of capital X equal to small x is equal to P of x. This is a very important formula which you have to remember for all the theoretical distribution problems. Now, some more important terms or phrases which you have to remember are, whenever you come across the word at least, it means it is greater than or equal to. The word at most means less than or equal to. the word unbiased or fair coin means what? The probability of getting a head or probability of getting a tail is half, which is equal to 0.5. Similarly, when we talk about an unbiased or a fair die, the probability of getting any number on the die will be the same, which is 1 by 6, or in other words, P is equal to 0.167. Starting with problem 1, write the range of variation and also write down the PMF, mean and variance for a binomial distribution with parameters n equal to 7, p equal to 0.4. So the first step is to list down the values which are given. So write given n equal to 7, p equal to 0.4. Now calculate the value of Q, which is the probability of failure, and it has the formula 1 minus P, which is 1 minus 0.4 is equal to 0.6. The first part of the question is to write the range of variation. So what is the range of variation of the binomial distribution? It means what values x takes. We have already learned that the range is x equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 up to n. So all you have to do is replace n by the number 7, and your final answer for the range of variation is x equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 7. The next part of the question says we have to find out what is the PMF. So write the general format. P of x equal to, open the flower bracket, n cx, p to the power x, q to the power n minus x. Then x takes the values 0, 1, 2 so on till n, and q is equal to 1 minus p. In a second line, write 0 otherwise. This is the general PMF formula for the binomial distribution. Now in this PMF, we have to substitute the values of n, p and q. If we do that, we will get the final PMF as p of x equal to, open the flower bracket, 7cx, 0.4 to the power x, 0.6 to the power 7 minus x, where x takes the values 0, 1, 2 so on till 7, 0 otherwise. The mean is calculated using the formula E of x equal to np. Substitute the values, 7 into 0.4, which is equal to 2.8. Similarly, V of x is equal to npq. Substitute 7 into 0.4 into 0.6, which gives us the answer 1.68. Problem 2. A biased coin has probability of head 0.4. The coin is tossed 6 times. How many times would you expect heads? Now in this question, the word expect is highlighted, which means we need to find out what is E of x for the binomial distribution. Now how do we know that it is a binomial distribution? Because it is a problem which is related to a coin, and the coin is tossed a finite number of times, that is 6 times, and the probability of getting a head for this biased coin is given, which is 0.4. So the first step is to write given n equal to 6, then p is 0.4. So find out q, which is 1 minus p, 1 minus 0.4, which is equal to 0.6. The next step is to define capital X, which is a binomial variate, which always stands for number of successes. And here success is defined in the problem as getting a head. So our X will be defined as number of heads. Then write the formula for E of x, which is equal to np. So 6 into 0.4 is equal to 2.4. Therefore, the number of times we expect heads is 2.4. Problem 3. The probability that a daily wage worker gets work on a particular day is 0.8 among 30 days of a month. If X denotes number of days on which he gets work, find the mean and variance of X. Now this problem again is a binomial distribution problem. Why? Because among 365 days in a year, they have chosen 30 days of a particular month, and in those days they have found out the number of days a daily wage worker gets work. So since we know that it is a binomial distribution problem, we need to find out the two parameters n and p. So first write given n equal to 30, then p is equal to 0.8, that is a probability of success. In this case, it means it is a probability that a daily wage worker gets work. Therefore, Q will be equal to 1 minus P, which is 1 minus 0.8, which is 0.2. Then define X as number of days a daily wage worker gets work. Now write the formula for the mean, that is E of X equal to NP. 30 into 0.8 is equal to 24. Similarly, V of X is equal to NPQ, which results in the answer as 4.8. The previous three problems which we discussed are usually 2-mark questions. Now from the fourth problem onwards, we will learn how to obtain solutions to the binomial distribution problems, and these problems are 5 markers. Now there are certain points which you have to keep in mind for these 5-mark problems. Firstly, identify that it is a binomial distribution 1. For that you will need the two parameters n and p. So n will be a whole number, p can be given in terms of percentage, decimals or fractions, and in certain problems capital N value will also be given. So once you write the given step, what is the next step now? You have to identify what is success in the problem and then define capital X. And remember that capital X always stands for number of successes. And again I am repeating, the success will be defined in the given question. After that, write the general format of the PMF of the binomial distribution. Then in the PMF, substitute the values of N, P and Q. After these 3 steps are done, then we find out the required probability. Problem 4. The probability that a person hits a target with one shot is 1 by 4. If he fires 4 shots at a target, find the probability that he hits the target. First subdivision, all 4 times. Second subdivision, at least once. Now, why is it a binomial distribution problem? Because the person hits the target, and hitting the target is considered to be as success. And how many chances has he been given? He has been given 4 chances. So write the given part. N is equal to 4. P is the probability of him hitting the target, which is given in terms of fractions as 1 by 4, converted to decimals, which is 0.25. Then Q is equal to 1 minus P. 1 minus 0.25 is 0.75. Now define capital X as number of times the person hits the target. Consider the PMF. P of X equal to, open the flower bracket, NCX, P to the power X, Q to the power N minus X. X takes the values 0, 1, 2 up to N, and Q is equal to 1 minus P, 0 otherwise. Now in this PMF, substitute the values of n, p and q, and hence we get p of x equal to 4cx, 0.25 to the power x, 0.75 to the power 4 minus x, and x takes the values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0 otherwise. In the first subdivision, we should find the probability that the person hits the target all 4 times. So let's start with the formula. Probability of capital X equal to small x is equal to P of x. I had already mentioned to you at the beginning of this video that this formula is very important for calculating the probabilities. So all you have to do is, in place of small x, replace it by 4. So you get probability of capital X equal to 4 is equal to P of 4. Now in the PMF, wherever you have x, replace it by 4 and you get 4c4, 0.25 to the power 4, 0.75 to the power 4 minus 4. 4c4 is 1 and 0.25 to the power 4. Calculate with 4 places after the decimal, so you get 0.0039 and 0.75 to the power 0 will be 1. So the first subdivision probability answer is 0.0039. Now the second subdivision says we have to find the probability that the person hits the target at least once. So the word at least means greater than or equal to 1. Now please listen to the explanation very carefully. I'll be discussing what is called as the direct method and the formula method. So first let's start with the direct method. What do we understand by x greater than or equal to 1? Now check what is the range for this problem. The range of variation is x is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now x greater than or equal to 1 in the direct method means we should calculate the probabilities when x is equal to 1, 2, 3 and 4, and if we add up all these probabilities then we will get the answer, but it will be time consuming. Now usually the direct method is used when we have to find the probability of a given value of x which is close to n in the problem. But in this problem we have to find out probability of x greater than or equal to 1, and 1 is not close to n equal to 4. Hence we will use the formula method as shown below. So how do we use this formula? You start with whatever is asked in the question. You consider probability of x greater than or equal to 1. Now this inequality can be written as 1 minus probability of x less than 1. So now observe the inequality on the left hand side. So on the left hand side, if you have greater than or equal to, then on the right hand side the expression will have only x less than 1. So I'll read out the expression again. Consider probability of x greater than or equal to 1. In the formula method, it is written as 1 minus probability of x less than 1. Now, what is the value which is less than 1? In the range, if you see, The value which is less than 1 is 0. So the next step, you get 1 minus probability of capital X equal to 0, which is equal to 1 minus P of 0, which is equal to 1 minus, in the PMF replace X by 0, and so you get 4C0 0.25 to the power 0, 0.75 to the power 4 minus 0, which results in 1 minus 4C0 is 1. Any number to the power 0 is also 1, and 0.75 to the power 4, taking 4 places after the decimal, after rounding off results in 0.3164. So the final answer for the second subdivision is 0.6836. With a lot of practice, you will be able to use, or you will know which method to use, either the direct method or the formula method. In all these problems, I'll be explaining in detail when we can use the direct method or the formula method. But it's very important that you keep practicing these problems repeatedly. Only then you will become confident enough to know which method to use. Problem 5. The probability of an individual surviving after becoming a victim of cancer is 1 by 10. Find the chance of survival of 4 individuals when 6 have been affected by cancer. Now this problem is a binomial distribution problem, because if we survive after becoming a victim of cancer, it is considered to be as success, and the number of individuals whom they have considered here is a finite number, which is 6. So start with given n equal to 6, p equal to 1 by 10, which is 0.1. Find out q, which is 1 minus p, which is 1 minus 0.1, is equal to 0.9. The next step is to define capital X, and remember always that X stands for number of successes. Here the number of individuals who survive after becoming a victim of cancer will be X, as shown in the video. Now write the general format of the PMF of the binomial distribution. P of x equal to, open the flower bracket, NCX, p to the power x, q to the power n minus x. X takes the value 0, 1, 2 up to n, and q is equal to 1 minus p, 0 otherwise. Now in the general format, substitute the values of n, p and q, and the final PMF will result in P of x equal to 6cx 0.1 to the power x, 0.9 to the power 6 minus x, where x takes the value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0 otherwise. Now the question is to find the chance of survival of 4 individuals when 6 have been affected by cancer. When they say find the chance, it means we should find the probability. So start with the general formula. Consider probability of capital X equal to small x is equal to small p of x. In other words, consider probability of capital X equal to 4, which will be equal to p of 4, and in the PMF replace x by 4. So you get 6c4, 0.1 to the power 4, 0.9 to the power 6 minus 4, and after simplification and wherever possible take 4 places after the decimal after rounding off. The final answer is 0.0012. Problem 6. The incidence of an occupational disease in an industry is such that the workers have 20% chance of suffering from it. What is the probability that out of 6 workers, 4 or more contract the disease? So first identify the parameters of the binomial distribution, that is n and p. Given n is equal to 6, p is equal to 20%, 20 divided by 100 is 0.2, and q is 1 minus p, 1 minus 0.2 is equal to 0.8. As I had mentioned, the probability can be given in terms of either decimals, fractions or percentage, and in this problem it is given in terms of percentage. The next step is to define capital X, which will be number of persons who contract the disease. Now write the PMF of the binomial distribution P of x equal to NCx p to the power x q to the power n minus x. X takes the value 0, 1, 2, so on till n, and q is equal to 1 minus p, 0 otherwise. By now all of you should know what the next step is. So substitute the values of n, p and q in the above PMF, which will result in P of x equal to 6cx 0.2 to the power x 0.8 to the power 6 minus x, and x takes the values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0 otherwise. Now we need to find out that 4 or more contract the disease. What do we understand by 4 or more? So it means that x is greater than or equal to 4. So in the direct method, x is greater than or equal to 4 means, see the range, x takes the values 4, 5 and 6. So how many probabilities we need to calculate? We'll have to calculate 3 probabilities. One for x equal to 4, the other for x equal to 5 and the other for x equal to 6. And if I use the formula method, now as shown on the screen, just check the formula method equation which I have written. It is consider probability of x greater than or equal to 4. So in the formula method, this is written as 1 minus probability of x less than 4. Now what are the values which are less than 4 in the range? It is 0, 1, 2 and 3. So how many probabilities do you have to calculate over here? Here in the formula method you will have to calculate 4 probabilities. But in the direct method, how many probabilities you need to calculate? You will need only 3 probabilities. So to find a solution for this problem, I can use the direct method because it is much simpler. So start with consider probability of x greater than or equal to 4, which will be equal to p of x equal to 4 plus p of x equal to 5 plus p of x equal to 6, which is equal to p of 4 plus p of 5 plus p of 6. Now all you have to do is for p of 4, in the PMF wherever you have x, replace it by 4, and for p of 5 in the PMF wherever you have x, replace it by 5, and for p of 6 in the PMF substitute x equal to 6, and it results in 6c4 0.2 to the power 4 0.8 to the power 6 minus 4 plus 6c5 0.2 to the power 5 0.8 to the power 6 minus 5 plus 6c6 0.2 to the power 6 0.8 to the power 6 minus 6. So on calculation and simplification, the final answer is 0.0169. Problem 7. 2% of the electric bulbs manufactured by a firm are defective. 6 bulbs are randomly selected for testing. What is the probability that at least one of the selected bulbs are defective? I've already mentioned that the word defective means that the problem is based on the binomial distribution. Hence, identify the parameters n and p. So the total number of bulbs which are selected are 6, which means given n is equal to 6, the probability of finding a defective bulb is 2%. So P is equal to 2%. 2 divided by 100 is equal to 0.02. Q is equal to 1 minus P, 1 minus 0.02, which is equal to 0.98. The next step is to define X. So X denotes number of defective bulbs. Then write the general format of the PMF. P of x equal to NCX, P to the power x, Q to the power n minus x. X takes the value 0, 1, 2 up to n, and Q is equal to 1 minus P, 0 otherwise. Substitute the values of n, P and Q to get the PMF as P of x is equal to 6Cx, 0.02 to the power x, 0.98 to the power 6 minus x, where x takes the values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0 otherwise. We need to find out at least one of the selected bulbs are defective. At least one means greater than or equal to 1. And in other words, x will take the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And we will have to calculate 6 probabilities, which is obviously going to be very time consuming. Now let's check what will happen if we use the formula method. The formula method is probability of x greater than or equal to 1 is 1 minus probability of x less than 1, and the value which is less than 1 is 0. So the equation reduces to 1 minus probability of x equal to 0. So if I use the formula method, I'll need to calculate only one probability. So for this problem, we'll use the formula method to get the solution. So start with consider probability of x greater than or equal to 1, which is 1 minus probability of x less than 1, which means it is equal to 1 minus probability of x equal to 0, which is 1 minus p of 0. Now to calculate p of 0 in the PMF, wherever you have x, replace it by 0, and the equation reduces to 1 minus 6C0, 0.02 to the power 0, 0.98 to the power 6 minus 0. So remember that 6C0 is 1. Any number to the power 0 is 1. And on further simplification, the final answer is 0.1142. A gentle reminder, view and listen to the videos carefully, understand the concepts and keep practicing. Thank you for watching, and I'm sure all of you are looking forward to finding solutions to more problems on the binomial distribution. So watch out for my next videos.